right. DJ Smallwood, Slingin Dirt Media. We're out in, you said Dillsboro, Indiana? Dillsboro with the Morris Hill address.
Yep.
Very good. I'm sitting here talking with a fan request, and I love it. We love when the fans reach out and says, hey, we want to hear from this driver. Well, I've got Zach Lamb sitting here at the table. Zach, let's talk about it, man.
How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good. How was your drive?
It was actually a little longer than I thought it was going to be. I mean, I've been out to Dillsboro, and I've been out to Brownstown and Mount Vernon. I've been out to here before. It was like, man, it just seemed like it was taking me forever.
Construction out front here.
I think it was the traffic coming through Lawrenceburg and Aurora.
Yeah. 4 o'clock is a hot streak right
there. Yeah. So tell me about yourself, man. How long have you been racing?
Well, I'm 23. I've been racing for 2 years. I didn't race one time last year. I tried 3 or 4, but never had any luck with a motor. So 2 years probably.
So 2 years. Has both of those years been in a sprint car?
Yeah, I've never raced anything.
So you didn't drive anything before? You just hopped right in a sprint car?
No, full throttle.
Let's do it.
Yeah, full throttle over in Florence was my happy place.
That was your happy place, yeah.
I went there, religiously every weekend, and then finally got a good enough job to where I was able to build one of these. So.
Well, that always helps.
Yeah.
Do you remember the competition racing, the go-kart
in Lawrenceburg?
Yeah.
That was the original.
That was the old school.
Yeah,
dude, I've had some fun there.
Yeah, that's where it started. But then they closed down. I had to go over to Florence all the time.
So I guess Florence is probably a lot closer than going to Sharonville for you.
Yeah. Yep. It's probably 40 minutes to Florence, maybe 50.
Okay.
Depending on traffic.
Yeah. That plays a lot in it.
Yeah, but I love it over there.
You love it. Yeah. I was sitting at home one time, and I had the house to myself. Wife and kids were all gone. I'm like, cool, I got Sunday afternoon. I'm going to sit here. I never watched the Daytona. I'm like, I'm going to watch the Daytona race. I had my chips, my snacks, my beer. I was set, all for a rain delay. I'm like, well, this sucks. So what am I going to do? So I'm sitting there, and I scroll on Facebook, and Joe Janowski.
Number 6.
Yeah, number 6. Yeah.
Brownstown and Florence a lot.
So I don't know if he saw me or what. Anyway, I got a message from Joe. He says, hey, how close? He said, are you busy? I said, nope. He said, how close you live to Sharonville? And I said, I can be there about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And he said, okay, drivers meeting starts at 15. We need you. So they were doing they had a 4-man team, and they were doing one of those enduro races. It was like a 6-hour race, but you had to change drivers and everything. So I'm on my way. So we went and did that. That was a blast.
Yeah.
Getting to see some guys that were really good
at the indoor track.
Trying to learn from them.
Some of those guys over there don't mess around.
Yeah.
Their body weight is huge on them things.
It is. There's a place, oh man, I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head. It's right outside of Mooresville down in North Carolina.
K1 speed?
I don't think it's K1. It's, man.
I don't know, man. The big ones are K1.
Name them off here.
That may be the only one I know. I've been to a couple in Maryland when my sister lived there. I don't remember the name of that one. First Impressions.
I want to say this is like Trackhouse. Does that sound familiar?
Sounds like it could be anything.
It could be. I could be way wrong. So we went there last year during the World Finals.
Oh man!
And one of the World of Outlaw drivers says, "Hey, if you're not busy on Sunday, come over and go racing with us."
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Until I almost beat him, then he was like, "Damn, DJ!" Yeah, it happens.
Oh,
yeah. I've turned some laps in go karts. I love it.
I never did I raced a motorcycle down at the Lawrenceburg flat track.
Okay.
But never a go kart or anything like that.
Really?
And that was only a one-time deal.
Just one time. How'd you do on that?
Dude, it's funny.
It's funny. All right, let's hear it.
So we went to my buddy. I have 3 or 4 friends that run the flat track motorcycles. It's called American Flat Track Series. And they had a 100 class at the time. Mm-hmm. So we went down, and it was actually maybe school time. I was just graduating.
Okay.
And I learned how to use the clutch and stuff in a cul-de-sac, and then to do a start. I never done anything like that. And we
in the corners, was you lay this thing down and sliding?
It was laying down, but not sideways.
Okay.
How they get it. It was only 100, so I mean, it wasn't.
Those guys are pretty wicked. They're pretty balls out there.
My friends are crazy with it.
Yeah.
And so I learned how to do a start. Went down there, and then won my first heat race. Came in second in the second, and then in the main I wrecked, leading on the last lap. And my first time, man, I was stoked. I still have a scar from it. I wrecked.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
But
that's a pretty good start.
that was actually before I think I even started racing these.
Really?
So, I mean, I was still new. I've always been around racing my whole life,
Okay.
but never doing it.
Never
just-
like competed like.
It was just
Okay.
sitting up in the stands.
So
watching.
we didn't do like no street stocks or no Hornets,
No.
nothing like. We just jumped straight into a sprint.
It's the only thing, like Moffitt, I've watched his videos
Mm-hmm.
before. They never had enough money to go from a midget to a mid
Yeah, work their way
or
up.
whatever. Yeah, I
was
I
all or
could
nothing.
afford it. So I bought my first one when I was 16,
Okay.
still in school, for like $900, and I realized I was too tall for it.
Really?
So I had to sell it, and I bought another one. It was Dickie Gaines' old car.
Okay. I know the name.
It was a wedge frame, which is 2 inches taller in back, standard up front. Well, my head still was out.
Yeah.
So then I bought a 2-inch taller, which is the one back there. And that's where I finally started building it.
That's where you
I
started.
got a front axle. I mean, I pieced it together from like Google Images. Never
Okay.
been around one ever.
YouTube University.
It was the cheapest. Yeah, oh yeah. Speedway Motors has great videos on that.
They do.
But it was the cheapest startup because I've been around late models my whole life.
Late models.
Just helping. Not,
Okay.
I mean, when I was younger, I was changing tires. Maybe
Yeah.
groove a tire, grind
Sure.
a tire too. But
So who were you doing that for?
Jeff Symington.
Yeah, I know Jeff.
He hasn't raced in a couple years, but man,
He's still got a car, don't he?
he's trying to piece it together. But
I need to get Jeff on here.
he only got a couple more things to do. I mean, it's simple fix.
You know, it seems like
He
that's
got
always the story
yeah,
with Jeff.
He's got like 6 or 7 months to do 2 things. And
Yeah.
I told him I'd come out and help. But yeah, he's got a couple things. I grew up, man, every weekend with him.
Okay.
Him and his dad Les is awesome. He's like a second grandpa.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's really all I did was late models, and then I met my friends at school that raced the flat track stuff, and then we
Right.
started doing that.
Okay, so I gotta ask this: how do you help? And you're like in the late model world. How do you end up in a sprint car?
Cheapest startup cost.
Really?
For me, it was because I could find a frame for $2,000.
Okay.
Where nowadays those late models are stupid. I mean, 40.
You ain't finding a modified
Yeah.
for $2,000.
$40,000 for a late model. They're
crazy.
just I can't.
Yeah.
I mean, I work full time, but
Right.
it's not. I can do this, and we don't even race every weekend just because of how much money it is.
It's a lot.
But other than that, that's
So
it.
what motor are we running here?
It's a 410.
This is the 410.
It makes around 820 horsepower at the crank. But
Not too shabby.
those guys that we're racing with, I mean, they have a lot
Monsters.
of power. Yeah.
Monsters.
And we've been lucky. We've had maybe 3 good runs that I'm proud of. You know what I mean? But other than that,
What's been your best finish?
second. And Michigan.
Okay.
Which Michigan, when I went to Michigan, I knew there was going to be 3 or 4 guys that were really hard.
Which track did you go to?
Tri-City.
Okay, yeah.
It has a big asphalt track around it. We showed up 10 minutes before engine heat. Just late because of the traffic. There were storms the whole way up there. It was just me and Kaylee, too. That's the first time we ever did that, my girlfriend.
So I'm trying to think of what track we raced. So I did the Summer Nationals, the UMP.
The Hell Tour?
The Hell Tour.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah. So I was the race director for that.
You guys went to Tri-City.
That was Tri-City. Okay,
Yeah.
because I was starting to think. I couldn't remember the name of it. I knew it was normally a sprint car track,
Yeah.
but they never run late models except for like maybe once a year.
It's like 10 minutes from Lake Huron.
Yes.
So, I mean,
That's
it's 40 minutes away from Flint North.
Yes.
So we decided to go there for a weekend, and man,
How'd you like it?
I loved it.
That's
I
a
mean,
nice little
honestly,
track.
the fan experience was cooler than
Okay.
the second
Tell me
place.
about the fan experience.
It was just, after heat race, after hot laps, I ended up 9th in qualifying, which I thought was pretty good for never being there.
Okay.
And then they rolled us up on the asphalt track, and then I got to hand out hero cards and everything.
Yeah.
That was way cooler than racing,
Yeah,
man.
that's pretty
Just
cool.
the kids. We had a guy come up and talk to us, and then at the end of it, he came up and said, I need to get a picture with you. Because he was cheering for me and Brian Roman, and then Brian Roman won the race, and I came in second.
Heck yeah.
So I was
that's
like-
pretty good company to be
I was
in.
like, I need to talk to that guy again. I was like, where's he at?
Yeah.
But
Brian's a good dude. I talked to him.
Roman?
Yes.
I've talked to him once at Gas City. I didn't get to talk to him in Michigan, but he is a really good guy.
I do. He's raced a lot at Eldora.
And
then-
everything.
Yeah, and everything at
Everything.
Eldora. He's ran everything. And then I had a conversation with him at Volusia this year. I was like, man, I would love to come north and do an episode with you. And he said, man, that'd be awesome. He said, I'd love to have you. He says, come on up. So,
I'm sure he's a busy guy, too.
Yeah.
It's probably hard to get a hold of him.
Man, I tell you, some guys, and I get it, it's part of it, what people have life and schedules and work and racing. It's hard, and it's a big juggling act to try to make all this happen.
It's hard. I work swing shift. So
swing shift, where do you work?
Nucor Gallatin. It's a steel mill.
Yeah. I'm familiar with
scrap. Yeah, it's a good job. It's a great job. I love it. I love the hard work of it. But it's swing shift. So
I know a few guys that work there.
Man, they probably enjoy it. Maybe not.
Yeah,
so much,
I don't think they do.
I was gonna say it's a difficult place to get the hang of. But I mean, once you start learning it, you can't beat it. I mean, you're not going to college and stuff and making the kind of money we're making.
Sure.
It is awesome, man.
Yeah, I worked for a local plumbing company, Joe Lay and Sons Plumbing, and it's a trade. I enjoy it. It could be worse.
There's no way I could sit in an office for 12 hours and hang around. No way.
I don't know that I could either.
No. I'm too busy, man. I'd be sitting around the house and I have to tinker on something. It's just something. Anyways, something always needs worked on. So,
right.
I mean,
there's always something to play with.
Yeah. Well, we found a water leak.
Yeah, you told me you had a water leak.
Oh my god.
Did you get that fixed?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I plugged it, so I think it's fixed. But now the spigot's leaking, so I don't know.
Okay.
I
so
fixed the
you
big
may
one.
need to get the shovel out and check it out.
Oh no, there's a 4-foot hole back there. I left it. I'm leaving it until I know it's good. But it's something. It's like little stuff though. I mean, it always keeps me busy.
Yep.
The dogs. We have a German Shepherd and a Golden Retriever. And
German Shepherd, Golden Retriever.
And that's it.
What's their names?
Piper and Finn.
Piper
is the German Shepherd, which is mine. And then Finn is our Golden Retriever, which we got together when we moved into our house.
Okay. I need pictures.
Oh, I got plenty.
We have to. You don't have to get them right now.
No,
during editing, so that way the people can see what we're dealing with here.
Piper's a good dog, but Finn is just extraordinarily good. He picked up on the doorbell thing to go outside.
Oh, he knows.
I mean, he just started smacking it. He's like, and then he went, oh man, he's a great dog. Great dog.
We have a dog, Pepper. And
what kind is it?
Pepper, we're not 100% sure.
Oh.
We take her to the vet. She was a rescue.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we take her to the vet quite often. Not every day, but she goes regularly. And we've asked the vet, what kind of dog is this? And they're like, well, we're really not 100% sure. Yeah. She could be this, could be that. She looks like a Min Pin, a miniature Doberman Pinscher.
Oh, man.
She's about yay tall. She's like a black and brown brindle kind of thing. Real pointy dog. Ears. Yeah, no tail.
Good looking dog.
She is. She is a completely different dog than when we first got her. When we first got her, she was all skittish and just wouldn't hardly, Now she'll come to you and she will tell you. She'll come and talk to us. She tells us either she's got to go out and go potty or, hey, I need some food.
Yeah.
She will let us know.
We got lucky with that because Piper always lived outside until we got our own place, but she kind of caught on. So there's still an accident here or there, but she's good.
Pepper's potty trained. It's like I bet you we've had her now for 3 years. I bet you she's had 2 at most. Oh, 2 accidents in the house.
That's good. We're still working on Piper a little bit. She's 6.
I love dogs. I'm a dog lover.
Oh, me too. I don't think there's not a dog I could there's not a dog I could not get along with.
Yeah. Some of them they're not as bad as cats. I think cats are just assholes.
Yeah, I'm not a cat guy. They are mean. They can attack.
They can be little dickheads.
I watched a video the other day. Kid stepped on the tail and it just meleeed him.
Yeah.
It's like no way.
So outside of racing, what kind of other hobbies you got?
Nothing, man.
You don't do any hunting and fishing, nothing like that?
I got into hunting 2 years ago, but I mean, I golf a little bit.
Golf?
I'm not a professional.
All right, tell me about this, because I've tried it.
It's fun. I was actually going to offer that if we couldn't catch that one day. We just go on a golfing and talk about stuff. But I'm not good. I'm like 100 every time. 100, 110. Last time I went, I shot a 90. But
is that good? I don't even.
For me, it's amazing.
Okay.
But I think good's like 70s.
Okay.
Like, that's 20 less shots. I don't see myself ever getting that good.
Right.
But it's fun. Just it's relaxing. I mean, you drink a little bit, have a good time.
I'm good at that part.
Yeah, that's the best part about it.
I'm really good at hanging out the golf cart and
I think
having
that's
beer,
what keeps
just
me going
watching,
back.
checking the scenery out.
That's the best part. That is what keeps me going back, just drinking and having a good time.
Now, I do enjoy, and again, not that I'm not good at it at all, but I like going to the driving range.
Yeah, we just went there the other day. I actually tried to dial in my numbers, but
really, okay, so
they're
now
not
we're getting
impressive.
technical.
Yeah, I'm starting to learn. You know, it's just like this thing. You learn every
Yeah.
so often, but it's nothing. I'm not no pro or anything.
I've been to Top Golf a few times and always had a great time, enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I am that give me a bucket of beers, a bucket of balls, and
Yeah,
I can hit
that's
it.
how I am. But Top Golf, I always suck. I am a lot better out in the field, if you will.
Oh, okay, out on the course.
Yeah, I think it's the tee height maybe, because I
Yeah.
can hit the irons good there.
Yeah.
But not the driver.
No, it seems like Top Golf, you know, it's like, man, my first 5 swings, man, I actually hit pretty good.
Till
hit
you
where I
start getting a
wanted
little
to.
sore.
After that, I'm garbage.
Yeah.
I am no good.
That's how
at
it
all.
goes, man. You get sore after about 9 shots, and then it's just drinking the rest of the time. The rest of the 18, just drinking. It's fun.
Hey,
man.
like I said, I can handle that from the golf cart.
Oh, well, we're lucky enough. We live 14 minutes away, and
well,
they
that's
have
kind of nice.
they have a Mexican restaurant attached. So the margaritas,
I will meet you there.
The beer, it's just
there's where we're at.
yeah, you can't beat it. You know what I mean? Oh man.
So you spend a lot of time at Lawrenceburg. Lawrenceburg,
I tried.
right down the road.
Yeah, it's probably.
That's
18,
your closest racetrack.
Yeah, 18 minutes away maybe.
Okay.
I try, but I'm just not good enough. It's a momentum track.
Really?
And for a momentum, you have to be consistent. And I'm
Yeah.
just. I felt good there before, but when I feel good, they're still 3-4 tenths faster.
Yeah.
So I mean, I love it. It's close. You don't have to spend all the money on gas, but
Right.
at the same time, I'd rather go to a little bull ring where my motor can, where I know I have a potential.
Sure.
Not. I realize I mess up a lot, but going down to Lawrenceburg, I mean, those guys.
It's not a real
Westerfeld-
forgiving track, is it?
Oh no, Michael Fisesher,
Yeah.
Bilby, all those guys. I mean, they are quick. I mean, I don't know what they do, but they are fast.
They're fast.
Yeah, they're just good. There's nothing else to it. I mean, they're just fast.
Yeah. There's the names you mentioned. Fish. I did do Fish.
Yeah.
I have talked to Nick. I'd love to sit down and do an episode with him.
Dude, Nick is just everyone in that group.
Yeah.
They are phenomenal down there.
Josh actually.
Moffett. Man.
He actually hooked me up with a few guys, a few names, and
yeah.
I'm still working on. We're clicking the names off the list.
Yeah, Moffett. He was my idol growing up. Down
Really?
Lawrenceburg. Oh yeah.
I didn't realize
For
he was
sprint
that
cars.
old or you're that young.
I didn't either until I seen him for the first time. I was like, man, but he's cool, man.
Yeah. So
Wait.
FYI, me and him are about the same age.
Really? I didn't mean that personal.
It's all good. I still don't realize that I'm getting old.
Oh man, I'm getting younger. I think. When I grow
My
up.
mind isn't there. My body's getting
yeah.
there, but my mind isn't.
Probably all the overtime we have to work.
Something.
Keep on going.
Yeah. Obviously, Lawrenceburg's close. I mean,
Yeah.
that's always convenient and nice to have. But outside of that, you talked about going to Michigan. Is there any other tracks that you really like or
No,
don't like?
We tried the Wayne County in Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
Hilltop. That was a pretty cool one. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I mean, we're mainly Indiana. I'd say Lawrenceburg is my favorite. I just know that I'm not very good there.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll go there if they're running. If they're not, I'd rather go to.
Now,
Paragon.
is this, bear with me because I don't know a lot about sprints. Is this one you can bolt the wing on?
Yeah. Oh
go
yeah.
wing race.
I got a set of wings back there, but
Okay.
I'm not gonna shoot that gun. yet.
That's a different animal, too.
Yeah, I bought them thinking I was going to, but the
At
more.
least you got the option, too.
Yeah. Well, then I ran good in Michigan, so I was like, I'm a non-wing guy.
I'm a non-wing
I'm
guy.
not messing with none of that. But this is a raised rail car
Okay.
with the wing spuds. I have a Maxim back there, which is a 5-bar car. Probably not a good idea to run a wing on that.
Okay.
It'll just nose down,
Yeah.
catch it. But
I know when I did my episode with Fish, and he said, he says, this is if I remember right now, he's like, this is a non-wing car. He says, "This isn't even my car."
Him and Justin did the
he
flop.
said, "This is J.O. This is Justin's car." He said, "Justin have mine.
Yeah.
Mine's actually a wing car. He just takes the wing off." And
Yeah,
I'm like,
so this bottom frame rail is up an inch on most cars. On the wing cars. That's just so when they wing down, they don't drag bottom out.
Sprint cars do a lot of, they do the opposite versus a late model, where a late model goes in the corners.
On the right front?
The left wants to come up. You guys, the right wants to come up, right?
Yeah, well, for a wing car, they're winged down.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't know what it feels like, but I'm sure they're sitting like this, just hanging on.
Yeah.
Non-wing, I mean, to me, you're more on the right rear.
Okay.
And then late models, you nose down over on that right front.
Yeah.
But other than that, they're different. They're so different.
There's a big difference.
Yeah. I mean, you run different wheel offsets, tires. Your front axles are 3 inches shorter on a wing car.
So there's a lot of big differences between a wing car and a non-wing car.
Yeah, and the shocks. If I wanted to put this like I wanted to, do a couple wing races a year, go practice something, I'd have to get shocks, new front axle. I wouldn't have to do wheels, but just to know I'm doing it right, wheels.
Okay. So it's a day or a weekend to get ready or switch it over.
Yeah, for someone like me, but I'm sure the other guys, they can.
Guys that have help.
Yeah,
Guys that have a
it's
team.
me and Ron really out here just doing it all.
Hey, but you know what? Those are good times and good memories,
Oh,
right?
man, I wouldn't. Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah.
I wouldn't pass that up anytime.
I remember a couple times I was when I used to race, and I did, for the most part, most everything on my own.
Yeah.
And
It's hard, man.
I was. What's that?
It's hard.
It is. It's not easy. It's not easy.
Even just loading and unloading the car. I couldn't do it by myself.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to push in there, take it out.
Yeah, because I didn't have the equipment that I needed to do it by myself. If I would have had like the remote control and the winch,
The
and
winch?
I could have. Yeah,
We
I
were just
had
talking
an
about
open
that the
trailer.
other day.
I
Yeah.
could have done that if I would have had this or if I'd have had that. But it's like I was missing like just a couple little things.
Oh, yeah.
Back then we're big. Now it's like,
Yeah.
why didn't I have?
Yeah. Dude, that's the hardest part. Just even getting it into the garage here, it's so unlevel, I can't do it by myself.
Really?
I have to have some help. Or
Okay.
I couldn't be able to do it at all.
Okay.
Just to wash the car. Just getting it out of here. It's
That's
like, whew.
I was I was sitting in my car. Part of my routine when things got to go right on Sundays after racing, I'd back the car out and I'd take it 3/4 of the way apart, wheels off and everything, and I'd pressure wash it for hours,
man.
And before I put it back in the garage, I got in and I would just happen to be sitting there and just looking around, making sure there was nothing out of the ordinary. Yeah, make sure everything looked right. And I'm sitting there and I completely forgot, when I lived at home, Dad was having some company come over. And this guy pulls up in this little red Dodge Neon. I'd never seen this guy before in my life. And so I look over. I said, "Can I help you?" I'm sitting in a race car.
Yeah.
He says, "Yeah." He says, we're the FBI. So
Oh, my God.
I'm here for your arrest. I look at his Dodge Neon. I look at where it is. Well, you're going to catch me. Dude about fell out of the car laughing. I'm like, well, I guess you're here to see Dad. Because I didn't know the guy. He's like, oh, yeah, they thought that was the greatest thing ever. Yeah, you're not catching me in a Dodge Neon.
Did you figure out who it was?
Yeah, just a buddy of mine, random buddy of my dad's was stopping by.
Man, that's awesome. We were sitting out here getting ready to go to Paragon, and Jeff came over, and I was like, who's this guy? I didn't recognize him at first, and then he came in, sat down, we talked for a while.
Yeah.
It's the only instance I've had like that.
So, other than Moffitt, who did you grow up looking up to?
Brett Burdett. You may have heard of him. He was Lawrenceburg, man. Lawrenceburg and Gas City, he was on fire.
Name sounds familiar.
He ended up wrecking, hurting his neck down at Lawrenceburg.
Okay.
That's really it. I mean, the late model guys, like Bloomquist.
Yeah.
He's probably the only one that I really was like, oh, he's cool.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
This guy's kind of a big deal.
That's really it. Just Burdett, Moffitt, and
Okay.
Bloomquist.
There was a guy when I was at Lawrenceburg, and apparently he was a big deal. I'd never heard the name before in my life. And Chad said, "You're about to get fired." He said, "You don't know who so and so," and I still get this day. I couldn't tell you this. I'm like, I had no idea. He says, "Wow, how do you not know this?" I'm like,
Dude,
I come from late models.
well, there's so many local guys that are just so quick at Lawrenceburg, man.
Yeah.
I mean, to us, they are our idols because, I mean, John Memmer back in the day, he was a really tough one. Him and Brett and Moffitt down at Lawrenceburg, I mean, they used to be unstoppable.
Yeah.
Super quick. And if you didn't know them, I feel like you're like, probably not into racing.
Now, I know
much.
all the modified guys because at some point or another, my paths have crossed with the modified world, and whether it was racing with them or just whatever.
Being around it. I mean,
I can't tell you how many times Hamilton beat me. It's like that was normal.
he is crazy down there. Too.
That was a competition racing story.
Competition racing.
The go-kart place.
Oh, yeah.
We had all went there, and it was somebody's birthday. I don't know. So a group of us went. There was probably 8 or 12 racers, and we all go down there. Different types of cars, not just mods or whatever. So we had a couple late model guys, some mod guys there. We were all having a good time. Well, Brad Greer, the announcer
at Florence.
From Florence, he came down just to watch and heckle us, which was great. Good time to get Brad out of the house, and so we come over and we're sitting down waiting to go out racing again, and they're watching a video on somebody's phone, and Brad says, "Oh, DJ, you got to come over and see this. I got this really sweet video of Matt passing you right here." I said, "Brad, I see that every week. There's nothing new
I don't want
there."
to see it.
Yeah, I see it every week.
I heard Jason Jameson was really good at down there. He's around here too.
Jason was pretty good. I tell you who else was good, and I think held the track record there was Josh Williams.
That makes sense.
The JJ2.
Oh yeah, he used to be. He used to be related to Jeff somehow. We seen him down in Lawrenceburg a month ago or so, and it was good seeing him. I didn't talk to him much.
Josh?
Yeah, Williams.
Yeah.
I didn't talk to him much, but my dad went and talked to him.
Yeah.
He seems like he's doing well.
Josh is a great dude.
He is.
So back in the day, back in the day, so I guess what would have been Josh's prime when he was in the late model, and this is before I was racing. I was helping somebody. I was helping Gary Engel. The Cone Killer. He always ran a number 15 car.
Oh,
him and Jeff.
Rice was in that car at one point. James.
Yes. So, like I said, back in the day, like when I was in my early 20s, and I was just helping before I started doing any racing, I was helping Gary Engel, and Jeff was in his,
family car.
He was in his 20 car, and his dad and his buddy they were always there.
Mikey.
So, Mike. Yeah.
Mikey was
phenomenal. Was there.
He's awesome.
So when I had reached out to do an episode with Josh, he's like, "Do you have the right Josh Williams?"
Oh my
God. Maybe you're looking for the other guy.
He knew he was looking for him.
It's like, no, I'm looking for you. Yeah. He loved it. He said, "Man, I had a great time."
When I think it was 2012 maybe when he won the championship at Florence.
Sounds right.
Man, that was incredible.
Yeah.
That was like just the atmosphere. When he came back to the pits, it was
a good time.
Yeah, everyone was just, I was 11 years old, but just watching everyone have a good time, that was fun.
God, you are that young.
I'm 23. I was born in 2000.
Okay.
Yeah.
My oldest daughter she's an 01 model.
01?
So, yeah.
An 01 model.
I'm a 77 model.
That's what you are, Kaylee. She's an 01 model.
Yeah.
So she's 22, 21, 22?
Sure.
I'll
take your word for it.
Somewhere in there.
Hey, when I sit down to do this, I'm not supposed to technically have to think about details. Numbers and all that stuff.
I try never to think about details.
They're on the race car. That's all I need to know.
We just go out and do it.
Yeah. I'm not here to do math.
Yeah. I think she's 21, 22.
I think so. Haley, her birthday is December, so it's coming up.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so she might be getting ready to turn 23, I think.
Possibly. Yeah. Now you got me stumped. I don't know.
So my daughter's birthday is December 27th. My wife's birthday is December 28th. So it's like, man.
So you get to celebrate 3 for 1
let's just spend all of our money all at
Christmas,
once.
birthday, New Year's.
Yeah.
God bless.
It's a good time.
It's a lot of money going out the door right there.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember used to, so like 15 years ago, it was at the same time, my auto insurance, all of our vehicles, everything was done annually.
Yeah.
That was also due in December, so it's like I could do without the month of
Mine's every
December.
6 months, and I'm not 25 yet.
Yeah, yeah.
So it hits.
You're feeling it.
Yeah, when it hits, I know when it comes out.
Is there any other type of car that you ever would like, man, if I ever get an opportunity, I really want to hop in one of those?
A midget.
Midget.
But I think I'm too tall for. I would like to try a late model or modified just to see what it feels like.
Yeah.
But that's way out of my budget. You know what I mean?
Okay.
If it was free, I'd love to drive a late model.
If somebody said, hey, I need a driver for the night.
Late model or even a top fuel car.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not into drag racing at all, but if you've ever
yeah.
been to one of them, it is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I went to vocab school, we took a field trip, back in the day, to the Lucas Oil Nationals.
Okay.
It's in Indy.
Right.
And my teacher, Jerry Flume, he said, I'll make a bet if you hold your ears or not, because they're so loud.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've been around racing my whole life. I ain't holding my ears.
Yeah.
And when they took off, I mean, it
hurt, didn't it?
It was crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you've never experienced anything like that ever.
Yeah.
But a late model or a top fuel car, I think.
Okay.
Just to feel it.
I never tried it at an actual drag strip, but just buddies, we hit some back roads, and I tried it. I was like, "That's just this."
Yeah,
I couldn't get into it.
I would, yeah. But if you're going 300,
yeah,
you know what I mean.
300 might be a little different. It might be.
I could maybe do like a road course or something.
Yeah.
Like I used to have a Subaru, and I love that thing.
I always thought, man, if I ever got a chance, I would love to do I don't know what they're called, not the Baja, but the
rally cars,
the rally cars.
cross, where they
yeah.
jump. That
Yeah.
would be cool.
That would be cool.
I could get down with that.
Yeah.
I love. Yeah.
Now the off-road trucks, those things look pretty badass.
Those are cool, but too much travel in the suspension for me.
Yeah, that seems
just-
way too.
Yeah, going over them big bumps, you ain't no.
Yeah. I've landed funny on my quad a few times.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, that wasn't right. I'm supposed to be four wheels on the ground.
You got
not
them
four
shocks
wheels.
all the way out. It don't feel too hot.
I thought the rally stuff looked pretty cool.
Rallycross. I mean, everything, any type of racing, I think
Yeah.
I'd be into.
Yeah.
Like if I could do the motorcycle racing, I probably would try that.
Yeah.
On like a 450 or something. But other than that,
I have on my bucket list, I would like to go see, I have no desire to do it, I would like to go see Pikes Peak.
that would be cool.
I think that'd be cool. I
would
just
be-
think there's a
yeah.
lot of technical aspect to that.
Yeah.
Way
Especially-
out of my realm.
Yeah,
But
if you're the first 10 cars, I mean, I can only imagine. I mean, you're probably worried about pebbles on the track at that point. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? That would be cool, though.
Yeah.
Pikes Peak, any long, I don't know if I have the physicalness for it.
you're right. No, I don't.
Yeah, I could go watch for sure.
Yeah,
There'd
yeah.
probably beers go down there.
Watch and spectate and drink the beer. I could probably handle that.
Yeah. Racing, give me a mile or two.
Yeah.
And I'll pull off and I'll watch the rest.
I'll race you a half mile.
yeah, we'll see who can get there quick.
What kind of bucket list tracks do you have that you haven't been to yet?
Kokomo,
Okay.
and I'm going there next weekend.
Next week, so you get to check one off.
Yeah, and I mean, everyone says Eldora, but that's a consistency
that's a big
track.
one. That's a big
Yeah,
one.
I'm just.
Yeah. I feel like for our area, everybody's like, I want to
Yeah.
go run Eldora. Just you say I did it one
Yeah.
time at least, But that's
Mine's Kokomo. I've been to Lincoln Park. I don't know. It would be cool if Moeller had a sprint car race.
I would like to see that.
I would like to run that.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I went away 2 or 3, maybe 4 years ago.
Yeah, I know they've ran there a couple of times.
With the Boss series.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love. We go there and practice every year.
Okay.
I don't have a notebook or anything for that, but I mean,
Right.
it's fun to get around. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
I like the small little bull rings, and I didn't realize how small Moeller was until I actually went on the camera. I mean, it looks bigger than what it is.
I think everything looks bigger on
It
TV.
does. It does. You go to Moeller and you're like, man, that's a long straightaway, and you get there and it's a bull ring.
Yeah.
I mean, it's small.
They were advertised there for a couple of years. It was the Buckeyes' baddest bull ring. I'm like,
I guarantee
like
it is.
I
guarantee it is. That'd be awesome. Have you been to Circle City?
I have.
Dude,
Yes.
that is small.
That is small.
On video,
it looks big.
It does. I don't get it. You go there and you're like, man, I'm sideways the whole straightaway.
Yeah.
I don't.
Cameras add about 15, 20 pounds.
Oh, I guarantee it. I've actually.
I wish that's all it was.
I've been working out because at Lawrenceburg I got so tired, man.
Yeah.
Just my arms and my shoulders.
You got to work on your cardio.
I have been doing that too. I need to get some muscle on these little bones first. I mean, it really beat me down 3 weeks ago when we were in there. I mean, I woke up.
How many laps was it?
It was 25.
It was a long 25.
But we did 17 straight on the wall.
Really?
So, I mean, it was, dude, when it was done, I mean, I was trying to drive with my knees under caution just to give my arms and shoulders a break. I mean, it was, we went to bed at 1 or something that morning. I woke up at 5, had to take a shower just to chill out. I was in so much pain.
Really?
It was crazy. I never experienced anything like that.
Running to the top.
Oh, that's awesome.
How did you like that?
It's cool, and we held our own. I mean, but
yeah,
Lawrenceburg on the fence, it's just cool.
It's balls on the wall.
It is. I mean, I hit the backstretch wall even coming out, and I'm like, oh, God. I might have to ease up a little bit. I'm getting a little worn out here. But Lawrenceburg on the wall, I can't seem to run the bottom anywhere, though. So it's
really,
I don't know if it's just slowing down enough to hit the bottom.
Yeah.
And then I just can't do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel like maybe sprint cars are more something you want to be more up.
Me, if I have something to lean on, I feel like I'd be good all the time.
Okay.
But just hitting the bottom, slowing down that much.
Yeah.
In my head, it's a race car. I need to go in as hard as I can, and it will turn no matter what.
Yeah.
But it's a struggle. It's new DRC. I've been tight every single time I raced.
Okay.
There's never been a time where I'm like, oh, this is loose. But drive coming out, I ain't.
So everything's working like it should. You just got to get
I have to adapt.
What you're
the
comfortable
Maxim,
with.
Yeah, the Maxim, I could change 3 or 4 things, and I'd be like, okay, I feel it a little bit. In this car, I can put a quarter of a turn, and I'm like, oh, wow,
well,
it's
that's
there
big.
now. Yeah.
That's a big change.
So changing little, I mean, it messed me up last weekend, but other than that, I've always changed too much, and I always have had a tight car with
overchange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I feel like, and again, I don't know, but I feel like these things would be really easy to dial yourself out of.
I don't know. I'm still new.
I'm getting a head
I don't
shake.
know, yeah. I can, it just depends. I mean, like last weekend we had so much time to sit there and just think about it.
Really? You have a rain delay? Or?
No, they were running 3 or 4 classes.
Oh, okay.
4 classes, all sprint car classes, and
Yeah.
they can take a little bit sometimes.
I got you.
But we had
Probably
so
did some
much
track
time.
prep or something.
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
And it was heavy in hot laps. It was heavy in my heat race, and I was like, I'm not changing nothing.
I'm not changing anything.
I did not change anything.
like it.
All night. Besides offset on the right rear, but I mean, that's still nothing. And we went out there, and in 5 laps, that thing was blown off. And I'm like, well, I'm done. I started 9th.
Maybe I should have changed it.
Yeah, I started 9th and ended up 14th, and it was, Paragon was a cool track, too.
Paragon.
It's a paperclip.
Long
straightaways.
I've never been to Paragon.
It's sweet. I mean, honestly, when it was so fast Saturday, I was like, a little eerie here. But
I gotta get used to this.
Dude, going down the front stretch, you almost like point it to the wall and then go into. I mean, it's so tight.
You really pitch it in.
Oh, I don't know how fast you're going, but it feels like $150. You know what I mean? Everything when you're in there is just like, man. But going in them tight corners, every time it's like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it.
I feel like, and I don't know, you probably haven't raced there, never raced there. Do you remember old Whitewater, old Union County?
Is that Route 44 now?
Yes, I think the last time I ran might have been Route 44.
I think I've never ran there
Yeah.
or been there, but I've heard of it.
I feel like that place, from what I remember,
Really
it's
tight?
been years since I was there. I feel like it was like that.
I heard
like,
that was full of rocks. Is that true?
Yeah, I think so.
I hate
so.
tracks like that, man. That
Yeah.
hurts.
It does.
You get it in your neck, it hurts.
Yeah, it's not fun. I think I never raced there. I've been there a handful of times when I was way younger.
I think my buddies raced there on a motorcycle, but
Really?
I've never been there.
Richmond, Kentucky, I know it's like a paper clip too.
That looks tight too.
It is very tight.
I was gonna say it looks like a two
wide
lane highway. I mean, it
seems like that's about it.
No, I don't know if I'd do that.
Yeah.
I've wanted when we were gonna go to Lake Cumberland and Ponderosa. I felt like Ponderosa I could have done well at, but Lake Cumberland seems cool, but it seems tight too. I feel like them Kentucky tracks like that are just thin. You know what I mean?
I raced Cumberland. Liked Cumberland. Cumberland was good. I did not race Ponderosa, but I've been to Ponderosa.
That seems like the track. Is it like a D shape? It looks like
Yes,
a D shape
a little bit.
on
Yes, a
camera.
little bit.
Because when I was watching it, I was like, man, that looks weird getting into one, maybe? Is
Yeah.
it 1 or 4 that's D-shaped?
I feel like Kentucky has a lot of D-shaped
They
tracks.
do. They do. And Volusia down in Florida, that would probably be a bucket list, too.
Volusia.
Yeah, but, man, the tracks are so big. I don't know if I
That's
can
a big
do it.
one. That's a big hammer down track.
Yeah. I feel like I could be hammered down the whole time, but just not make a mistake.
Yeah.
Shoot it out the door. Nuh-uh. Not me.
It's hard to do. Huh?
Yeah. I mess up too much. I feel like I mess up every lap.
So do you do any of the iRacing, any of the video game racing?
I did.
Does that help?
No.
No.
No. I mean, if the seat moved, the
Okay.
biggest thing for me when I started was the G-force. No one ever talks about it, but at Lawrenceburg, man,
Oh yeah.
I felt my eyes like just be like, oh God. Like, I mean, it's tough going into them corners so fast.
Yeah.
I feel like no one ever talks about that, and that's the main thing I struggled with.
Yeah.
Just eyes felt like they were like, oh God.
So I never got to turn laps on the new Lawrenceburg.
The old Lawrenceburg.
The
would be
old
cool.
Lawrenceburg, I did.
It's like a Brownstown almost, maybe.
Yeah,
in a
yeah,
way.
yeah.
I would love to run Brownstown.
I never raced Brownstown either.
That would, man, now that I'm thinking of it, I keep thinking of these bucket list
Yeah.
things I want to do. But yeah, Brownstown is probably my favorite growing up, but for late models.
So is this where you grew up? This area?
Yeah, maybe like Aurora. You went through
okay.
Aurora to get
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I mean,
I grew up out east, on the east side, out by Moeller.
oh yeah.
That's where I grew up.
You know the Webbers? Dustin?
yeah.
He's
Dustin, B-Web, Gene,
oh yeah, they're
Jenny.
my best friends.
Yeah, they're
I mean,
good
They
people.
are awesome people. They help me with parts and everything on
Okay.
my car. Dustin helps me setting this thing up now.
Yeah. Does Dustin still race?
He races sprint cars now.
Yeah.
He wasn't a modified for
Yep.
a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Really good at a modified, and then in 2016 I think was his first year.
That's when he got the
in a
sprint car. Yeah.
And he's helped me a lot. But
Dustin's one of those guys I just overlook or I forget about. It's like I need to sit down with Dustin.
They work hard for
Yeah.
what they have. Him and Shanda and their kids are awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
everything about them.
Yeah, good people.
Oh yeah, there's someone that I look up to just in life. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But it is him and Dustin. And when we race, we go to race with Dustin.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's awesome. Good people to race with, good friends.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago, he was messing with me in engine heat,
Oh, okay.
and then I decided to get on a little bit, and I spun out in engine heat. But
In engine heat.
yeah, we don't ever talk about that. I've never spun out racing, but I
Really?
spun out in engine heat.
Okay.
It's embarrassing. And then we're pitted right next to each other. He said, "What happened?" I was like,
I kind of
"Nothing."
lost it. I
Yeah,
ran out of talent.
yeah. You're making me pull tear-offs under engine heat, and I just want to get you back one time. And I messed up.
That's what I do. So, you guys don't hot lap.
We do.
Okay.
But at Paragon and Lincoln Park, those are the only two tracks I've done it. We're the ones that pack the track in.
Okay.
So then we'll pack the track in. Normally the first group stays
Now, is
out.
that considered your engine heat also?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, your engine heat, you're just kind of wheel packing.
Yeah. So there's a balance there. You don't want to go out too early, get all muddy, and
Right,
have a
right.
bad wash day. But if you're,
Wash day.
that's terrible.
It sucks.
But we went out kind of late. I mean, I didn't have it up to temp, but it works out fine. Once you start getting on the gas, it gets warm.
yeah. They get warm
Yeah.
like that.
They also cool down
Like
like
that.
that. Yeah.
Well, I think the time of the year has a lot to do with that, too.
It does.
Yeah,
It
we're
does.
starting to get into the fall, the cool temps, especially on Saturday nights.
Yeah.
It don't take long for temperatures to
Yeah.
drop.
We had, when we ran Lawrenceburg last week, I kept thinking I had a fuel issue because the weather was getting a little chillier.
Yeah.
Header gaskets.
Ah,
I felt like an idiot.
that'll do it.
It will, I guess.
But it's those little things you don't always think of.
I've never
or
once thought
as a
about-
driver, you're thinking of
Yeah.
100 other things.
Yeah. I have never once thought a head gasket.
Right.
And I'd go back in the pits, I'd start it up, and it just popped and hoot
Yeah.
and holler. And then Bilby's came over, and they helped me, and then the bars. I mean, you meet so many good people in the
Yes.
racing world. I mean, the header gaskets on this thing were free.
Really?
I offered to pay
Yeah.
Chad Barr, and he He said no. And I was like, okay.
That's awesome.
Sorry, but thank you.
Yeah. This would have been my super dirt days. The best I ever ran, I had spun a lobe off a cam.
Oh, man.
I didn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm new to racing. It's like
Vibrating.
my first year. It's like, sound like a popcorn machine going down the straight. I'm like, but I'm running so good.
Yeah.
Do I really have to pull off?
That's what it was doing
Yeah.
in Michigan. Whenever I
Yeah.
let off, it sounded like a machine gun going off.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And then we went to Lawrenceburg, and it still did the same thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
it has to be fueling.
I was in the top 5, and I might have been chasing down the top 3, but I wasn't getting any. I wasn't spinning the tires.
But you weren't going off the corner anywhere.
Right, but this was so you'd have thought, okay, best was like 2000-ish. So back then, Florence was a black slick track top to bottom.
Oh, yeah.
So you always had to finesse, and you spun the tires a lot. Well, I spun a lobe, so I was missing that power. So I was just getting straight traction.
Oh, yeah.
It was like traction control.
So
I'm
you're
like,
getting off the corner
Yeah, I'm
good.
coming great. I'm like, this is awesome, but I'm about to blow up.
Yeah. Man, that's the worst feeling ever.
Yeah, so I pulled off. I was like, but I didn't know, you know.
Yeah.
If I would have known, I could have ran that whole race and wouldn't have hurt anything. Heck yeah, I'd have took that
Yeah.
chance. But
Dude, I shoved a push rod out of place. Whatever, I'm not an engine guy. But
Yeah, me
push
neither.
rod came out, and it vibrated my head off.
really,
Packing the right rear full of mud. Holy crap, man. That vibrates bad.
yeah,
And the first time I did it, I didn't know what it was. Right rear packed full, and I pulled in
yeah,
because I thought it was the rocker thing
Something
going
bad.
on again.
just mud.
And the mud cover was pushed in. I was like, oh, God.
That'll do it.
That's what they talk about.
Yeah, for sure. What about have you had any bad wrecks?
My first one was not bad, but the last one this year at Lincoln Park, man, that kind of rung my bell.
Okay, tell me about it.
I was running second in my heat race. I was late. I led the first lap. I always count led laps, but
Can you lead the last one, not the first
yeah,
one?
yeah. I led the first lap, maybe even the second lap. Guy got around me. Maybe I was in fourth when it happened. I was falling back, but at Lincoln Park, those guys are quick too, and
Yeah.
you got to know how to get around there. But guy came in, kind of fed me a right rear, if you will.
Okay.
I don't know how many times I went over, but the tank came off. I mean, it hurt bad.
So you went endo,
No, it
or
was
just rolled.
yeah, but we
Okay.
started into 3, and I ended up coming out of 4. So I mean, it
Really?
was a pretty good tumble, and it shook me up. It didn't. I wasn't scared,
Right.
but it hurt. The next day, especially, my neck hurt bad. But I got up out of the car.
It got your attention.
Yeah, yeah. And when they flipped me over, I got out of the car and felt like I just won a feature. Everyone's screaming and hollering.
They're cheering for you.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
okay.
like, what the heck? But it did. Luckily, I mean, I didn't get hurt.
Right.
But I was able to walk back. We loaded the car up, left. And the worst thing, I had a gash on my knee because my knees are in the box.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
just the next day, my head hurt.
How tall are you?
6'3", 6'4".
6'3". You're a tall drink of water.
Yeah, that's what my grandma called me too.
There you go.
But yeah, she that's the only bad one. The first one I just little Tommy tip over.
Okay, so you've been over a couple times.
Yeah. Accordingly, you know what I mean. But the one in Lincoln Park, and it tore a lot of stuff up. The whole rear of the car is probably clipped at this point.
Okay.
Just bars were pushed in.
Yeah.
They cut a bunch of bars out. That was it. The front end was fine. That's really it.
Yeah.
And my body, my self-esteem.
You were sore.
Yeah,
Bruised ego.
Yeah, the ego was a little hurt.
It was hurt.
But
I never got upside down. Never turned one over.
it's not a good feeling.
I've always. I don't mean to say that I wanted to, but I'm like, I always thought like there's the Richard Petty, the 17-time barrel roll
yeah.
at Talladega.
That probably put me out of business.
I always said that looks like fun.
No way, dude.
I'm like, they're like, what is wrong with you? And
That-
I'm like, I
That
don't know.
one, they always say let go and hold on to something.
Yeah, just
I let go, and oh my god, it just rocking my world every hit, man.
thump, thump,
Yeah,
thump.
it's like
Blue
sky,
brown,
dirt,
blue brown.
sky, dirt.
Yeah.
It's like, man,
Yeah,
it's not fun. I would not recommend it to anyone.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's what we choose to do.
that's what we choose to do.
Yeah.
I took a head-on hit.
That would probably hurt a
That
lot worse.
one, it got my attention, but it didn't hurt.
Oh.
So I was like, well, if that's all it did, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Let's do this. The fear factor's gone now.
Did you
Let's
wake
do
up?
it.
Did you wake up the next day with like whiplash or anything?
Yeah, probably.
I was gonna say that's the only thing I can think of that hurt. But
I think I woke up when they were like trying to get me on the car.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
I think it might have knocked me out for like a minute or so.
Well, that's how it was. I was sitting upside down. Power steering fluid was running all over me. I was just like, he said, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Just get me out of here. Just flip me over. Let me out."
Yeah. I was I couldn't hardly breathe.
I got the wind knocked out of me too.
It was at Lawrenceburg, so it was actually Bobby and his crew.
Oh yeah, they're the best.
Those guys are great.
Yeah.
I mean, hands down, probably some of the best in the business.
Oh yeah,
I remember them getting me out of the car and sitting me down, and I'm just like, I just want to get the helmet off. I just need to breathe. And they're like, well, hold on, slow down. I'm like, okay, but I need to breathe. You know, I felt like that was my biggest struggle.
Yeah, that was for me, but I was just upside down and that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh god, power steering fluid don't taste good.
No,
So
I
just
can't
huffing
imagine
and
it does.
But head on, man, that would hurt bad.
Yeah, it was head on. It was the old Lawrenceburg. And if memory serves me right, I think it was like maybe the Big Dog.
Big Dog.
It was like it was the weekend before the World 100 in September.
So like the Johnny Appleseed, but at Lawrenceburg.
Yes. It was the same weekend Eldor was running that.
Yeah.
I was racing at Lawrenceburg. I didn't go Friday night. I just went Saturday night and was running Sunday or whatever. So I didn't get a qualifying time.
Yeah.
So I started on the tail of the E and had to race my way to the D and the C or whatever. I did really good. I mean, I'd never passed so many cars. I felt like I never passed so many cars in one weekend as I did there. I made it all the way up to the B, and I might have cracked the top 10 maybe. I wasn't going to make the show by any means, but I remember just coming off of turn 2, going down the backstretch, and just all of a sudden, I didn't feel a tap, but I just remember the car just went around. Like, whoa, where did that come from? And so I'm sitting there, and it kind of stalled out, so I'm trying to fire it back up, and it, just struggle. It's not firing. Yeah. So the flagman was still in the infield, so he's facing the grandstand, so his back's turned to me. So I'm trying to start, and I look up, and I see the leaders. They're going through turns 1 and 2. Right. I'm like, all right, they're going to come by. They'll see me, yell's going to come out, and just push me off, and I'm good, right? I don't remember who was first and second. I remember David Spilley was third, and he saw me. He's coming down the backstretch, sees me sitting there, and he kind of lifts and goes high to go around me. Well, I think it was Steve King. It was number 71.
Oh, okay,
yeah. He had like a brand new Cyclone chassis from out here. And so when Spilley lifted to go high, he was in the line of sight. He had no idea I'm sitting there in a black race car. So when he goes high, he drops down to pass, and he was on the floor.
Smoked you?
Oh, smoked both cars. Man, there might have been a fuel cap left over from between both cars. That might have been all that was left. Yeah.
I couldn't imagine getting hit like that.
I remember Jody Shannon said you could hear that crunch all the way across the track.
Dude, if you get a chance, look at the Brad Kuhn flip from Eldora.
Yeah.
You can hear everything.
You can hear everything.
I hate that feeling.
Oops.
I can't even hardly watch a sprint car race at Lawrenceburg, though.
Really?
Without getting nervous.
I remember my first couple of races when I was race director there, and I was just like, oh my God, please nobody wreck.
Doing it, I'm fine. But if I'm watching, I'm a nervous wreck. Yeah. I mean, it does make me really nervous. I don't get
nervous to watch, but not nervous to do it.
Yeah, well, I still think about stuff when I'm going out.
Sure.
But when I'm watching, I think 30 laps, I'm probably like, okay, be careful out there, guys. I mean, you still got to go home.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys are nuts, aren't they?
They are. I felt like I always tried to remind guys.
Yeah.
Hey, take a deep breath, guys. You can't win it on the first one. I promise.
Yeah, well, some guys can.
Some guys can.
They think they can.
Yeah.
But it is. I can race, no problem.
Yeah.
But going in the stands, it's tough.
Do you go and spectate when you're not racing?
Yeah, but majority I'll help Dustin.
Oh, okay.
Or Nate if he's racing, Nate Carley.
Yeah.
Other than that,
I've got buddies that they're weird about it. They're like, if I'm not racing, like I don't want to go watch. I'm like,
Nah, I grew up as a race fan, so I'm still gonna go watch. Yeah,
I still love it. I'm like, I said, hey, I'm taking the world off. That's my vacation. I still race fan. I like to go camp and drink beer with my buddies and hang out. I'm not working that weekend.
That's how I am. I love even like a late model race. I love going to watch.
Yeah, yeah.
But sprint car, the King's Royal, Four Crown, that stuff is awesome.
Do you have a favorite event that you go to just to watch?
Four Crown.
Four Crown.
I haven't been in probably 2 years now.
Okay.
But Four Crown is phenomenal. This year I heard, I'm thankful I didn't go.
Really?
But I heard it was pretty dusty and not so good. But King's Royal, even Lawrenceburg, any local race in Lawrenceburg, I love going to watch.
Yeah. I don't think I've missed a World 100 since I was 16.
I've been to the World 100.
Okay.
I've been to the World 100. What's the other one? The Dream.
The Dream.
I've been to the Dream.
Yeah.
I've been to, I think every big race Eldora puts on for late models.
Yeah.
I haven't been to the truck race or anything, but
I've only been to the Dream once, twice.
Which one is that? Is that the one in
That's
September?
one in June.
June. Okay.
June is the Dream. The World is September.
I've only been there once. I've been to the other one 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
The World 100.
The World.
Yeah.
Yeah, the World.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't missed a World since, like I said, since 16.
That was a good weekend.
And I've only been to the Dream 3 times.
3?
I went to the first million.
Yeah.
It was a dream.
I'm sure that would have been cool.
That was pretty cool, and I just got lucky to get to go.
Yeah.
Some of my buddies, actually, it was my engine builder, Bill Blair. He was supposed to go, and a job came up, and he couldn't get away from. So the guys had an extra ticket. It's like, hey, just give Bill the money for it, you know. I'm like, yeah, I'd love to go. So I went. That's the only reason I got to go. And then I worked the last 2 dreams with my role with World Racing Group. We're like, all right, we need a tech guys. Like, okay.
That Eldora, I mean, if you go watch from the infield, I don't think
that's a different experience.
I don't
altogether.
think a race fan could ever get old of that.
Yeah.
I mean, just especially sprint cars for me, just watching when they're working. I mean,
now the Johnny Appleseed, they run the sprint cars at that, right?
No, Johnny Appleseed, I thought was the week before the World.
Well,
that's the Sunoco night, maybe.
Yeah. So there's one race. The first time I ever seen a sprint car at Eldora, I went with a buddy of mine to help him on his modified.
Yeah.
And in between, I didn't even know that they were running sprint cars that night. And I walked up to the fence in the infield, and this sprint car went right at the bottom. I mean, the first one went by the top, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is badass. And then one went by the bottom. I was like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, you would never imagine. From up in the stands, I mean, you're like, wow, they're fast. But
yeah.
When you get right there,
they're on
like,
it.
Holy crap.
It's a different experience. Yeah. That's like I don't know how you meant to say it. That's an experience you gotta.
It is. You have to see it for yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, it is crazy.
I would have to think, to me, that's similar to the Top Fuel dragster going
Yeah, probably. But to me, Lawrenceburg and Eldora, I mean, if you go see that from the infield, I don't think you can see that anywhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, it is fast. There is no other way. Just the wind that you feel, just the vibration. I mean, it is crazy.
Yeah.
Lawrenceburg and Eldora, man, they have to be the fastest
they're
in the country.
Pretty,
right?
I would say, yeah, they're pretty fast.
Maybe not so much Lawrenceburg, but...
Yeah, Eldora carries a lot of speed. Volusia, like we mentioned, that thing carries a lot of speed.
West Virginia. Or Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That one's fast.
Atomic.
I won't race there yet.
Atomic carries a lot of speed.
Mine's just the wall starting out in 3.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of that at all.
Yeah, it's...
They had that at Wayne County, and I would probably 6 foot off the wall, and every time I went into the corner, I was like, oh, gosh, when am I going to hit it?
Yeah,
every single lap.
You don't want to get too close to that.
I'm running the bottom, like, oh.
No.
Yeah. I don't like that wall. And Atomic's fast, man.
Atomic is fast.
Holy crap.
My theory on Atomic is I always thought it was like a smaller version of Eldora.
Yeah. Didn't it used to be called KC?
Yes.
That's
it.
That
KC, old KC.
Crazy track.
Yeah. They actually had a Dirt Track World Championship there when it was KC.
And then
Tony Stewart was there racing in it.
It moved to Portsmouth?
Yes, went to Portsmouth. It's been a couple of places. I remember it was, Portsmouth. It was Bardstown Speedway in Bardstown,
Kentucky?
Bluegrass Speedway.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I've never been there.
Yeah, they closed it. I don't know how many years it's been closed. Dave and Anita Farrell were the promoters, and super nice people.
Really?
I mean, yeah, great people. And that place was a good racy track. I don't think they ever ran sprints, but I know they had the dirt track there a few times.
Yeah, that would be cool. Somewhere different.
Yeah,
Everywhere.
somewhere different. It was like, and then they had it in Lawrenceburg, I think,
Really?
a couple of years, or at least 1 year, I know.
I want to run the Fun Fest thing.
The Fun Fest, yeah.
That just seems like a me type.
So maybe that was the Fun Fest that I had my wreck in. It was either Fun Fest or Big Dog.
Fun Fest is
I think it might have been Fun Fest. No,
like a 3 or 4 day race.
Yeah.
I mean, it's awesome.
There's
Fair
not too many
ride.
places that do that like anymore.
I think Brownstown does it now.
Do they?
I mean, it's always been a local to us thing, but it
Yeah.
was Lawrenceburg, and I think Brownstown does it now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think when we're going to Kokomo, they're having a sprint car race, but
Okay.
Kokomo kind of outweighs
Yeah.
Brownstown for me.
Yeah. Last thing I want to ask you about is tell me about this vacation. I heard you just got back from a
Oh, yeah.
vacation not long ago.
We went down to Destin
Okay.
and then had a few drinks, got in a little bit of trouble the first night.
You had a little bit of trouble the first night?
Yeah, second night probably.
Maybe. Okay.
But it was Tito's and Red Bull.
Tito's and Red Bull. That's a combination.
I thought I was doing good,
Yeah.
and then I knew I threw up or whatever. And then the next day she said, "Yeah, when we got out of the shower," I was like, "Dang,
Wait a minute.
Yeah, we got out of the shower, huh?" I was like, I don't remember that at all. So I don't know. It's probably a little worse than I thought, but a little embarrassing. But it was a good time. After that, we just hung out.
Like
Right.
a bad night at the races.
Yeah.
But it was a great vacation.
Yeah, you don't want to talk about it, but it was a good one.
Oh, okay. So we don't need to miss
Yeah,
it.
but that was cool. I don't think I've ever experienced sand like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't get out much. So, I mean.
You have a race car.
Yeah, the sand was cool. The white crabs.
Yeah?
The food was great.
Food. Good food?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
Great food.
Yeah.
And then the
So you'll go back with less alcohol?
yeah,
Maybe.
maybe 3 or 4 years from now.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
We'll put it on the list.
Yeah, it was cool though. The drive was cool. We actually passed a racetrack in Florida that I don't remember the name of. But
Okay.
there's-
Was it close to Destin?
Yeah, maybe an hour.
Okay.
Maybe it was. They had modifieds hanging from light poles.
Really?
I mean, it was cool.
Do you have a number list? How many tracks you've been to?
I think I've raced like 18 times.
Okay.
So I've been to Lawrenceburg, Paragon, Gas City, Lincoln Park, Tri-City. I think that's it.
Okay.
Circle City.
Circle
yeah,
City. Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Last question I have. Does your car have a name?
No.
Does
We have
not
a little
name.
troll hanging out in back.
You have a troll hanging out in
he's,
back.
he's got green and purple hair. Just
Okay.
because at the beginning of this year we couldn't.
I feel some guys are just like every car has a name.
I'm not like that.
Okay.
I
Not yet.
would. If I could come up with a good
Not
name,
yet.
I probably would.
Okay,
Yeah.
so your car could use a name.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll get the viewers on that. Send us messages.
Yeah.
Zach,
We just
it
right
needs,
now
it needs a name.
we have a troll with pink and purple hair, and I think he's zip tied in there. He's not even secured. Really.
He's just along for the
yeah,
ride.
he's just hanging out. But he's a good luck charm, I guess. Because
Okay.
ever since then we have had better luck.
You got better luck.
Yeah, the first race with it, we came in second at Michigan, and I was
Yeah.
like, I guess we'll keep it on there.
We're keeping him.
Yeah.
He's staying.
Just for a little longer.
Okay. Before we wrap things up, tell me who all do you have to thank?
Well,
Sponsors, whoever you got to. This is
family
your time.
first, obviously, but Ron, he helps me out the most.
Okay.
And then my girlfriend Kaylee, I wouldn't be able to do it without her, financially, emotionally, because I get pretty strong-headed sometimes.
Yeah.
But my mom and dad, they help. When I lived with them, they helped out a lot. My brother comes out. He lives right across the road, so I mean, he comes helps me wash sometimes.
Yeah.
Braden, he's my buddy.
Okay.
Dustin, they actually help with I promote them just because their parents help me, and they're
Sure.
such good friends. But Smoke Justice, that's a bourbon and barbecue lounge in Covington.
Where's this place at?
In Covington.
This sounds like a place I need to go.
You do. Seriously,
Smoke Justice, okay.
It's a bar. It's a bourbon lounge. They have
I'm
smoked
going to tell them
food.
Zach sent me.
Do it.
Okay.
If I had a shirt, I'd give you one. But
They probably have shirts there, don't they?
No, I wish I was that big. But
Oh, okay.
they have Smoke Justice shirts. But that place is named after my great grandpa.
Oh,
He played for the Covington Blue Sox or Red Sox.
okay.
Colossal Fireworks, JJ. He has an insane amount of
Fireworks.
inventory. I mean,
If you need fireworks, he's the guy
yeah.
to get to.
I mean, it's right there off of 74, I believe.
Is that the one right by the, what exit is that?
Is it
like the-
74? Sunman exit?
Okay, is that like getting off before Brookville?
Close.
There's a big
You're
one
going
on
that
the
way,
left.
right?
I don't know if that's it or not.
No, it's before that.
Oh, okay.
I know which one you're talking
Okay,
about.
okay.
It's before that, but I mean, they have the big stuff.
So go to this
in
guy.
there. Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I mean, he's
Okay.
got the big ones.
Okay.
Brosy Lawn Care. He's been my best friend growing up forever. He mows grass, landscaping,
Okay.
walls. Taylor Enterprises. I worked for him for maybe a year after high school, just getting my feet wet, working
Yeah.
on cars. Schmoes Collision and
Schmoes
Detail. You
Collision?
may have heard
Yep.
of them.
I know that one.
That's Braden's grandparents. They painted my tank.
Okay.
Gave me a little bit of money.
Nice.
Weber Race Supply, Gene and Jenny. They
Yep.
are awesome.
Great people.
Yeah, they give me a lot. I can't thank them enough. Stock Manufacturing, that's my dad's work.
Okay.
They help me out a bit. And then just Teal Moon, that's Dustin's business and Shanda's that they work out of. And
Very
then
good.
they have 10 Below Candy Company.
Really?
Yeah.
What kind of candy do they have?
Freeze dried. It pretty good stuff if you're
Pretty
into
good
that.
stuff.
Yeah,
If you got a sweet tooth,
yeah,
that's stuff
they do.
to get.
And that's really it. I think.
Okay.
Make sure.
Man, Zach, I think we've covered a lot, man. How about
Yeah.
what do you think?
I think so.
You go with it?
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
good
good.
with it.
I'm always good.
You're always good.
Yep.
Very good.
Yeah.
I appreciate, man. It's been great getting to sit
problem.
down,
No problem.
get your stories. I appreciate it tremendously. We'll get this thing edited and set up so all the viewers, and hope they like it and watch it as well.
Yep. Awesome.
Well, good luck. You're going to Kokomo here in
The
a week.
11th.
The 11th.
October 11th.
October 11th. So I'm
trying
not
my
sure if
best.
this will be up before or after that.
All good.
Either way it goes, man. Good
Awesome.
luck.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you.
Well, we're going to wrap things up. Man, thanks for watching. I hope you guys liked and enjoyed it as well. I had a good time. I think Zach did too.
I always have a good time.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that great stuff. Hit us messages. We love the messages. If there's a driver or somebody you want to see, make sure you let us know, and we'll do our best to get them on as soon as we can. We'll see you at the track next week. Thanks.